Hello, welcome to episode 3 of the Eldenwood Craft podcast. My name's Emma and I'm coming to you today from next to the Christmas tree in our living room. And I'm recording today from our home here in the south of the UK. If you're a returning viewer, thank you ever so much for coming back and spending a bit of time with me today. It's very much appreciated. If you are a new viewer, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see today, and if you want to be notified of new podcasts coming up, then please do click on the subscribe button, and you'll get a message to say when I upload again. And please also do click on the thumbs up to give me the like. That would be fabulous. Just a little bit about where you can find me. I have a website, eldenwoodcraft.co.uk, where show notes for today and all episodes will be posted. I normally get them up sort of 2 to 3 days after I've gone live, but I'm trying to be better about that. I'm also on social media as Eldenwood Craft, and primarily, really only, I'm on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. And to be honest, mostly I'm active on Instagram, although trying to get better at the other two as well. So welcome, and I hope you've got a drink with you. I don't have anything to drink today. I will rectify that at the end of the show. I just want to get on and have a chat with you. I think I'm getting into the swing of it a little bit now, so I'm hoping that maybe I'll be able to start recording a little bit more frequently. I've certainly really looked forward to coming back today, and I've been plotting in my head for a while what I'm going to be talking about. And I can see it all here laid out in front of me. So what will I be talking about today? Well, I've got some acquisitions. Actually, let me do it in the order, the proper podcastly way. I'll be having a little bit of a community catch up, talking about some things that have been happening online and people that I've been chatting to. Then I will show you my works in progress. I will show you some finished objects. Notice there are more than one of those, which is really exciting. And then at the end, a little bit of chat about future knitting plans. What else have I got on the list? Some bits and pieces that have come in the post. I know I've not really spoken much about my Etsy shop before, and again, I've got nothing to show you today. The shop is on holiday now, but I might have, if I haven't been going on too long, I might have a bit of a chat about what my plans are for next year. However, I might save that for next time. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. First of all, I wanted to say a massive thank you to somebody who sent me a really lovely gift in the post this week. It arrived yesterday, I think it was. Lovely lady by the name of Maxine. We'd got in touch through the Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted thing that was going on Instagram a few weeks ago, and one of my wishes was for some minis for my sock yarn blanket, and Maxine, who is Teeny White Daisy on Instagram, got in touch to say she'd be very happy to send me some minis. And so I thought, lovely, that's really kind. And they arrived, as I said, yesterday. Just going to reach across. You can hear the rustle of the tissue paper. And Maxine, I don't know if you're watching this, I hope you do, because I'd really want to say thank you ever so much. What you sent was just amazing. My jaw dropped to the floor when I opened up the box that you had sent. And inside, it's obviously a little bit not quite in the same state as when it arrived because I've opened it. But in this lovely tissue paper package were so many lovely balls of sock yarn. I don't really know how to show this to you. Let me see. This might be a disaster. I hope that rustling of the tissue paper isn't too annoying. That's not going to work. What I think I'm going to do, if you hang on 1 second, I'm going to put them in my vase that I've been keeping my minis in, so I will be back in a minute. So, as I was saying, I've put them in my vase, and here they are. Look at all those. Look at that. There's so many of them. I haven't counted them. I don't need to. I just know that they are just the most beautiful nitty gift a girl could receive. Someone did say to me, why are they sending you all their leftovers? Clearly that person didn't understand. I'm just so touched, and I shall enjoy putting each and every one of these into my blanket. Thank you, Maxine. Thank you so much. There's some really lovely ones in here. Even just on the very top. Oh, look at that. As you probably know, I'm a big fan of the muted colour, but I do like the odd pop of colour. So this sort of, this brown with, there's some little different shades of brown in there. Perfect for me. Gosh, yes. Oh, look at that one. Oh. That is, I don't know what that is. Not really focusing very well, is it? Stay to my fingers. Anyway, thank you, Maxine. I really, really do appreciate that. That was so generous of you. Thank you. Right. Oh, I should also say, along with all that lovely yarn, as if that wasn't enough, Maxine sent me, look at that, lovely brooch from Maxine, and look at these beautiful hair clips. I think Maxine has made these. If I show you her card that she sent them with. Maxine is Teeny White Daisy. She has an Etsy shop. It's blowing out a bit. I haven't been on to Maxine's Etsy shop yet, but I certainly will be, because these are so pretty. Really nice. Thank you, Maxine. Put that back. Right. Okay, let's move on to works in progress. I'm hoping that this isn't going to be too long a podcast today. I'd like to sort of do quite a short one before Christmas. So I'm going to rattle through what's been going on. And first off, my whips. Now, I had a message after my last podcast when I didn't show my blanket. I think it was Christina had said that, or I'd made a comment that I wasn't going to show my blanket because I've been showing it off on Instagram. And Christina very rightly said, oh, I'd like to see it because I'm not on Instagram, so if I could show it, please do. So you're absolutely right, Christina. And today I have got some blanket love for you. It's rather messy because I've put I've put quite a few squares in over the last couple of weeks, and I haven't done very many of the ends. I do try and tidy them up as I go, and I'll show you the back because I think the back is quite nice and tidy apart from the new bits. But if I show you where we had got to last time, we'd sort of, I think we were roughly about done that's how much we've done. Then I've added all these on. Now, what's the best way to show this? I'm going to hang it this way. So I hang it from there, right. So I have put in all this row and everything below. So up to there. I did finish this one today. Some really lovely ones in there. I can't remember where they're all from. This is a Nora George, this one. It was from a mini set of blues. And this one also, this blue was also Nora George. As was this one here, I think. This was a Harry Potter one, I think. Tracy, I'm sorry if I'm getting it mixed up with another one, but I think it was one of yours. This one here was the Spangles sock yarn from Yantan Tetherer Yarns. This one here, I put that in, I think just after, in fact, I may even have been putting it in when I showed it. No, I wasn't. No, I think this was put in round about the end of October. Maybe it was in, I can't remember. But I think I put it in because it was very Halloween-y. It's a pumpkin spicy type one. And I think that was from Kate Celine. Yeah, so it's growing slowly but surely. What I'm trying to do is to, I'm going to extend this section out that way to the width that I would like the blanket to be, and then I can start filling in, and then once it's all filled in below that, then I can start adding him down here. So yeah, I absolutely love it. I know a lot of people have been using their minis for a crochet blanket, and I did a crochet blanket a few years ago. I followed the Attic 24 pattern, and it grew and grew and grew and grew, and it was quite big, and in the end I just didn't really like it, enjoy it. I didn't really love it anymore. So I now use it, I've just folded it up and using it as on top of a cushion in my craft room to add a bit of colour. And I've toyed this week with the idea of using some of my minis to start a new blanket, but you know, at the moment I don't think I'm going to. I think I'd rather concentrate on this mitered square blanket, because I do love it. I said I'd show you the back. Let me start the proper way around. So that's the back at the moment, just the odd, in fact, over there, yeah, just the odd end to weave in, and then as we move down to the more recent ones, you see the almighty mess. It's coming, I promise. That are the current ends that need weaving in. There they are. I know I will get those done fairly soon, actually. They're rather pretty though. Lots of nice colours. So yeah, so that's my sock yarn blanket. I will put the details of the pattern that I'm using in the show notes. There we go. Okay, the next work in progress that I'm going to show you, in fact the only other work in progress I think that I brought with me, is a pattern that is very much doing the rounds on in other podcasts and on Instagram, and it's the Mercury socks. That's a pattern, gosh, I should have written this down. I can't remember who the pattern is. I'll put it on screen so you can see. It's a free pattern. Ow, I've just stabbed myself. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's taken the knitting world by storm at the moment, and for very good reasons, because it is really, really lovely. The yarn I'm using to knit it with is this. I hand wound the balls. This is a yarn from Molly at the Homespun House. It's her Half-Blood Prince colourway. I've got her card here. On her Olsen, is that the right way? Yeah. On her Olsen fingering base. It's 75% superwash BFL, and 25% nylon. It's the first BFL base that I've knowingly used, and I really do like it. It's definitely not as soft as the Superwash Merinos or any Merino, but it feels like it'll be a really good sock yarn. And in the skein, it's 400 metres, 438 yards for 100 grams. So Molly, I really love your yarn. Molly's not going to be watching this. That was foolish of me. It would be lovely if she did, but I very much doubt it. But I do love the yarn. And what I've done with this pair of socks is, thing's going to fall off my lap, I have wound the yarn into 2 balls and I'm knitting my socks concurrently. I don't really fancy doing the 2 at a time on magic loop. At the moment I'm enjoying knitting my socks on DPNs, so we have 2 roughly even same sized balls of yarn. Oh, I love this. If you can't tell, it's a very sort of pale silvery grey, and there are lots of lovely specks of purple, and there's some tealy blues in there, and some sort of navy darker blues. It's such a lovely yarn, and the way that it knits up for this sock is like this. Really lovely. So I've changed did I change the pattern? I think the pattern calls for a 1x1 rib. I have done a 2x1 rib just because I prefer that. I cast on 72 stitches. Now that gave me a little bit cause for concern. 72 stitches sounds like an awful lot. I normally knit my socks, I normally knit 64 stitches, and I normally knit on 2.5mm needles. So I have cast on as the pattern called for, but I've gone down to 2.25mm needles. And actually I'm thinking about changing my socks generally to 2.25, but I need to do a little bit of experimentation with that. But anyway, for this sock, 72 stitches, 2.25mm needles. I have got a little progress keeper on there to show me which sock I am currently working on. And you can see it's a really beautiful lacy pattern. If I stretch out a little bit, you can get an idea of what the pattern is going to look like. Sort of. Maybe do it on that side. But just really lovely. It does. People have said the sock just slips by and knits up really quickly, and I am finding this. I cast this on last Sunday, and bearing in mind I'm at work every day and have got a family to run, and have been doing some Etsy stuff in the evenings. So far this week I have managed to knit that and that of the second sock. Oops, tidy that up a bit. So I've done the cuffs. The bit about socks that I least enjoy are the cuffs. I don't know why, I don't know what it is about it. I just don't enjoy knitting. I don't think I enjoy knitting rib really. It's not difficult, I just find it a little bit monotonous. I even prefer just knitting the leg and the foot on a plain vanilla sock to doing a rib. Who knows why? But there we have my current work in progress, the Mercury sock. Really nice. Lots of people have said they can imagine knitting this again and again and again, and I completely agree with them. I think I would like to knit a second pair. I'd need to find maybe a slightly different type of yarn. I don't know. I'm going to have a look in my yarn drawer and see if I can find the perfect yarn for another pair of socks. And I'll just show you my lovely progress keeper. This was sent to me by the lovely Debs at Crafty Cat Knitty Bits. She said it was the closest she could find to a robin, and she knows how much I love the old robin, so thank you, Deb, that's lovely. So there we are, my Mercury socks, knitted concurrently, and actually I enjoy knitting concurrently. I think that might be the way to do it in future. Of my other works in progress that you've seen so far, the hollow shawl has had maybe one row knit on it, so I'm definitely not showing you that. My spark of grey, since you last saw it, I've knit maybe 3 or 4 rows, so it's not really worth showing you. It hasn't really changed. I'm edging closer to the rib section at the end, and just bearing in mind what I've said about a rib, we will see how quickly it grows thereafter. But I really want to get that finished because I do want to wear it. So maybe next time we come along you will see a finished object. Okay, I think that's it for whips. Let me show you what I have finished, and I have 2 finished items for you. Both are socks. One of them you have seen before, you've seen some of one. I can't quite remember how far I got to last time. And the other one you won't have seen at all. The first pair I will show you are my Gryffindor socks, just a plain vanilla sock knit on the lovely Tracy of Nora George's Gryffindor Harry Potter House Crest Club, you try saying that, yarn. Oops. And these knit themselves. They knit up so quickly. I played about with these a little bit, just proof that there are 2. Do you think I could hang them on the Christmas tree? So yeah, I experimented a little bit with these. One of them was knit 66 stitches. One of them was knit with a cast on 60 stitches. I did a 2x1 rib, so it needed to be a multiple of 3 that I cast on. And I was just playing about with leg sizes because I don't think I've really got to the perfect sock yet for me, so I was quite happy to have a bit of an experiment with this. I haven't tried them on yet. I'm just trying to work out which was the 66 and which was the 60. Yeah, I think do you know, I don't know. I'll have to see when I try them on. I think this was the 66, and the reason I think that is because one of them has a slightly different cuff heel. I knit these using Susan B. Anderson's Smooth Operator sock pattern, and I have to say it's been an absolute revelation. I could not knit a heel on a sock without getting a hole in the corner, and I'd read so many places to prevent that. All you need to do is pick up a stitch or 2 in the corner, and that will stop it. And every single pair of socks that I have knit, I picked up a stitch in the corner and I still got a hole. And I found it really frustrating, and for that reason I was a little bit with sock knitting. I enjoyed the process because I think I'm a process knitter rather than a project knitter. But I want that perfect sock, and that's why probably I'm still messing about with sizing. But Susan B. Anderson's heel pattern in her Smooth Operator sock pattern has completely fixed that problem for me. It's a paid for pattern, I think, I'm pretty sure, so I won't go into the detail, but it's the heel construction is it's an afterthought heel, which is freely available online if you don't know how to do that. But how you pick up stitches round here is where the magic lies. That, I think, it's not done brilliantly, but there is no hole there. That one, I think, worked a bit better. We won't look at that. But given that that's the first pair of socks I've knit using that heel construction, I am really pleased with these. So this lovely bright fruit salady pair of socks will be hitting my feet this weekend. The heel was knit out of West Yorkshire Spinners Caraway colourway in their 4-ply signature sock yarn. There we are, one FO. The other FO that I have is another pair of socks, and I started knitting this particular pair of socks on Christmas Day 2015, and I thought I cannot let a whole year go by without having finished these socks. And actually the socks, one pair of the socks had been knit and frogged back because I just didn't like them, but now that I have changed the pattern up and finished them, I absolutely love them. And they are a pair of Rose City rollers knit in the Arnie and Carlos colourway. I don't have the ball band with me, that's annoying, so I can't remember which of what the colourway name is, but it's one of the winter night, summer night range. Can't quite remember. I will put it down below so you know. But there is one, and here is the other. I love them. They are obviously just house socks. And one of these was knit in my old-fashioned sock heel way. Look, you can see this really clearly. In fact, what I'll do, I'm going to whip the old fruit salads off the sock blockers, and I'm going to pop these on so you can really see the difference in the heel construction. Let's hope they fit. Talk amongst yourselves while I do this. Right. That's the new sock. This is the old sock. Okay, so here they are. Lovely, lovely socks. And right in the corner here is a whopping great big hole. Okay, so I've done, this is a heel flap and gusset heel construction, and here is a hole that is just about big enough for me to poke my finger through. Hello. That's so... That's awful, isn't it? Is there one on the other side? Yes, not quite so big, but it's still there for everybody to see. The new sock, which was knit in Susan B. Anderson's way, has no hole in the heel. No hole in the heel. Look at that. Really nice. I'm so pleased with these. They fit a dream. These were knit using 64 stitches on 2.5mm needles. I am definitely going to make these again. I've got some more Arnie and Carlos yarn in the Summer Night colourway that I will knit another pair of Rose City rollers out of. It's such a simple sock. And they are they free? I think they're a free pattern on Ravelry. You basically cast on and knit, and it obviates the need to do a ribbed cuff. So of course I'm going to love them. Yeah, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So those are my two whips. Yay! Two finished objects. I can't speak today, clearly. I'm obviously so excited about my FOs. Okay, so that's it for all the works in progress and all the finished objects I've got to show you. I've just got a couple of things, three acquisitions that I'm going to just quickly show you. And then just looking in my notes, I just want to mention a little bit about future knitting plans, and then I think we're done. Oops, put that down. Okay, so the first of my acquisitions, which shall I show you first? I'm going to show you them in possibly order, my 3, 2, 1 in order of favourite. So in third place, It's another of the Arnie and Carlos design line colourways. This is the Forest colourway. It's a 100-gram ball. Normally they come in 50-gram balls, so I don't know why the difference, but this is, you can see their design line, Arnie and Carlos, special edition for some reason. So the details on here are 100 grams. I'm 459 yards. I'm just trying to find the composition and I really can't. Here we go. 75% virgin wool, 25% polyamide. I don't really know how to say that word. Hear it pronounced all sorts of ways. Polyamide, polyamide, polyamide. I don't know. You get the idea. Anyway, so it's very similar actually to, actually no, it's not that similar, is it? It just feels a bit similar when you sit in the ball. But I think that blue actually is incredibly, yeah, look, that's the same blue, isn't it? But the difference between this one is the pops of green in there. I quite like that green there. And the browns maybe. And if we have a peek inside, I don't know if we'll see much difference. But I quite liked that when I saw it knit up on, I think it was the Wool Warehouse website where I ordered it from. It looked like a nice knit. So I don't know quite what I'll make from these. I should have said actually that these Rose City rollers were knit from one 50-gram ball of wool. So it's really, really sort of economical knit. So from this 100-gram ball of yarn, I could get 2 pairs of socks. I doubt that I will. I will probably do it, use it for a different pattern, but I just fancied taking that. The next acquisition is was a little bit naughty. I didn't really need these, but I wanted them. How many knitters have said that? And it was a Knit Picks order. They had a bit of a sale on, and I just thought I would stock up on some essentials to keep in the background. And when they came through, I was really glad I bit the bullet and did it, because I really love them. And I've picked up one each of these. Sorry, 2. There's a pair of each. So this is a combination, whoops, let's pick those up, combination of their Stroll Tweed and their Stroll Fingering. So all it's all going terribly wrong down here. So yeah, so there we are. Yeah, Stroll Tweed and Stroll Fingering. Obviously they are, it's all fingering yarn, all potentially sock yarn, but these tweedy ones, let me show you these a little bit closer. I got 4 tweedy ones, these 4. You can see the lovely nibs of tweedy stuff in here. I actually think they might make a nice shawl. This brown one in particular, I think this is Heather Doe Skin. I don't think it says. Oh, right on the front. I don't know if you can see that. Rabbit Heather. It's probably blowing out a bit. There we go. That's such a beautiful browny colour that I think that would make a beautiful shawl. I've got 100 grams of that, so we will see. Each ball is made up of 65% superwash merino, 25% nylon and 10% Donegal tweed. It's really soft, really lovely, much softer than the Arnie and Carlos, but that's a more sort of substantial sock yarn. This is a nice softly one. And then the 2 ball of yarn on the floor, there was the grey and this very dark navy. These are the just the Stroll Fingering, and this is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. 231 yards in 50 grams. I think that's the same with the tweedy based one. And these I thought I'd get for heels and toes and so on in socks. So I was really pleased with that. It came really quickly. I can't exactly remember when I ordered it, but they were delivered within a couple of weeks. So I think I read somewhere that Knit Picks now post out of, is it Germany maybe, to European countries. So I'm kind of a bit more inclined to order now from them, although as I've already said in previous episodes, I do like to support indie dyers, but sometimes an offer like that you just can't say no to, can you? So on to my third and final acquisition, and this is from a UK based indie dyer, a lady by the name of Emma Breadstill, who owns and runs Lilac Tree Yarns. Yeah. So in a beautifully spotty tissue paper package arrived yesterday my Christmas cast on, and it came with this lovely little card, and attached to the outside was a mini. So thank you ever so much, Emma. That will be going in the jar and into the blanket. And then I'd spent a little bit of time trying to find the perfect Christmas cast on. I didn't want to do a traditional red, white and green stripy sock. I wanted something a little bit different, and when I saw this I just knew that this was the one. The name of Emma's colourway was Chocolate Orange, and I think you can probably guess or have a rough idea as to what the yarn might look like. I chose Chocolate Orange because my daughter adores chocolate oranges, and she has a chocolate orange in her stocking every year. And I think one year we forgot to put one in, and she never forgets that. So it's a bit of a thing at Christmas for her. So I got these with the intention actually of knitting her some socks, but my daughter doesn't really, she's 14 and at the moment she's not very knit worthy. She doesn't want me to make her any socks. She doesn't want gloves or hats or scarves or a jumper. So these are going to be for me. And this is the skein. It's absolutely delicious. I actually do not like chocolate oranges, but I love this. I would quite happily swap a Terry's chocolate orange for a Yarny chocolate orange every day. It's lovely. Look, you can see all the beautiful chocolatey, is that going to focus? Chocolatey colours and oranges. And some of the yarn is, there's some natural in there as well. It's just lovely. Can I do that? Yeah, I'm really pleased with this. So I'm going to cast on Christmas Eve. I'm going to join in the Little Bobbins Knits Christmas Eve cast on. I did do that last year. Or did I? Yes, I did do that last year. I cast on a pair of Felici socks that were frogged. I didn't get very far with them. But this is just going to make me want to knit and knit and knit all Christmas on it. I haven't yet found the perfect sock. It could be another pair of Mercuries. I'm not sure though. I think I might, with one on the go already, I think I will want to try something different. It might just be a vanilla sock. We will see. I'm going to spend the next week having a look for the perfect pattern. I shall knit them concurrently because I'm enjoying doing that. But yeah, that's my Christmassy cast on. So hopefully there will be either a pair of socks or a nearly done pair of socks in this colourway next time I podcast. Right, that's all the acquisitions. Just then finally, a little bit about future knitting plans. For Christmas, I have asked for some yarn. There's a surprise. And I have bought it myself and given it to my husband to wrap up. And it's a bunch of Cascade 220 greys and blues and greens. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to knit my first garment. And it's going to be the colouring, I think it's called the Colouring Cardigan by Katrin Schneider. I've got some notes down here. I will put a picture, hopefully, in the screen somewhere. And as you can see, it's quite well, hopefully you can see, it's quite a simple cardigan, but I thought it'd be quite good for my first garment cast on. And with that, I'm going to be entering a cowl. Now, I'm not very good with cowls. You won't see me entering that many because I have a mental block about cowls, really. I don't like to be forced into pressured deadline knitting, but I really wanted to give this particular cowl a go because I love the person who is running it, and I thought it would give me the incentive to get the cardigan finished quickly, or more quickly than I otherwise would. And it's a cowl that's it's a cowl that is being run, there we go, by Zoe of the Pins and Needles podcast. I've mentioned her before. And her podcast is called, her cowl is called the Newfangled Make-Along, #Newfangled Make-Along cowl. And it's a cowl that is open to any crafts, and you can, as long as you're doing something new, so it could be a new pattern, a new technique, a new kind of yarn that you're using. For me, my first garment. So it's a cowl that runs from the 1st of January to the end of February, I believe. So I thought I would give that a go. I don't think it's the first cowl. No, I have completed one cowl in my knitting career. That was the lovely Nessa of the Kilted Crafts I Heart Bees Socks cowl. I think I finished. I can't remember. Maybe I didn't finish it. But I would really like to start the new year with a new garment that I know that I will get a lot of use out of. So hopefully you will see progress on that over the next couple of months. Okay, that's about all I'm going to say, I think, other than just a quick chat about my Etsy shop, Eldenwood Craft on Etsy. It is on holiday at the moment. There's been nothing in the shop for a week or so. I had an update. I've put in a few bags over the last few weeks, just as they've been made, really, and they have been snapped up, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you ever so much to everybody who has looked at them, who's bought, who's rebought, who has asked for custom orders, who has inquired about them. I'm so grateful for the interest. I love my Etsy shop so much. I would love to be able to spend all day, every day working on my Etsy shop when I'm not knitting. Alas, it's not to be, because I do have a full-time paid job, as you know. But I'm going to spend the next few weeks having a really good think about what goodies I can bring to you next year. I've ordered some bits and pieces to make a new type of bag that I'm really excited about. The new bag follows on from the kind of themes that you will have already seen from my bags of the last sort of 6 months or so, last year. I'm so excited about them. I want to have a think about how to make them extra special for you. So that's one thing that I'm doing. I introduced a couple of drawstring bags in the last update, and quite a few people said, oh, you're doing drawstring bags, how exciting. So I will do some more drawstring bags as well as the standard zipped bags, but I'm going to be having a look in the new year at how I can improve on them. I suppose that we're always about improving what we do. So you might see some changes, you might not. There will certainly be some new drawstring bags and these new bags that I've just ordered the fabric for this week. And I need to have a think about whether I do big updates which are well advertised, but I'm conscious then that as I've noticed over the last few big updates, the bags get snapped up very quickly, which is lovely for me, but does leave a lot of you missing out. And I do get a lot of messages to say, oh, I missed out again, never mind, maybe next time, oh, I missed out again. So I'll have a think about what the best way to do the updates is, bearing in mind the fairly limited time I have to make the bags in the evenings and at weekends. If you've got any thoughts on that, I'd be really interested to hear what you would like if you're interested in the bags, how you think updates work best. And you can leave a comment below, or you can contact me via my website eldenwoodcraft.co.uk. Excuse me. So I think that's about all I've got to say. Yeah, I think we will bring it to a close there. So all that there now needs to be said is to wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas, a happy, healthy and wonderful 2017, and I look forward to sharing with you lots of my knitting in the future. So happy knitting everybody, happy crafting, and see you next year. Bye!